Hey, everybody, this is Rapping Sports with Jax from the J to the A to the X and the X.com. How we doing today? We're going to end the season by talking about the Jets, and we're going to give them a grade. But I'm not going to give them the type of grade that you think I'm going to give them. I'm not going to give them the A, B, C, D, E, because who gives a crap? They did not. They only won 4 games this year. Little bit of an improvement, I guess. I don't know, and we'll see. Grade I'm going to give them is T, and T is for talent. Do they have more talent on this team than they did last year and the year before that? And that's the key, because if you keep grabbing talent and keep getting players and you keep having drafts, eventually you'd like to think it's going to click, like the Atlanta Falcons did years ago. They had a lot of crappy years, and all of a sudden, a first round draft pick 3-4 years in a row, a couple of extra picks here and there. And then they had that good year where they got to the Super Bowl, and now they're mediocre again, whatever. But with the Jets, I think they have that. I'm starting to see some talent. I like Wilson now that I've seen him. I was more of the keep Darnold, but now it kind of works out for the Jets because he's only in his second year. He's just as good as Darnold, if not better. I think in the long run he may be better, especially if he gets some get some protection, which I think his offensive line at some point is going to be a monster. You can start to see it build. That's what I'm talking about, the T. So with Carter at running back, there's some talent. So now you have somebody that you don't necessarily have to draft. Coleman's okay if you wanted to keep him there, and Johnson's okay if you want to keep the Jets and go with them another year. Now, if you want, you can draft or get another free agent and bring somebody else in here. T for talent. And that's what I like right there. So the Jets have a nice running back core that you don't have to really worry about, except for you hope the injuries calm down, and we'll see how it goes. So talent. Quarterback, talent. They have it there. Even Anderson had that one game. Maybe it's almost like hopefully you never get to see him again because Abby Wilson's doing good, but every team needs a backup. You know how this league is. Just with COVID alone, you can be taking out a couple of games. But the Jets do need some kind of a backup quarterback other than him, a little bit more of a veteran to kind of watch both of them. So I think the Jets have enough talent at quarterback now that you could say T for talent. Now the offensive line, you don't have to go. You got Becton. You got this team's looking good, and that's one of the things that I'm seeing with the Jets that you got to kind of see. There's some talent on this line. So you got the Tucker guy. He's going to be good. He looks good throughout the whole year. Is Fant going to be back next year? Is Moses going to be back next year? Will Becton be healthy? That's the key, because if Becton's healthy, then you got Tucker. Then you can kind of work everybody else into it. You can even draft another top guard if you want, because the Jets have 4 picks in the top, I think, top 70 it's going to be or something like that. And then they got 2 picks in the top 10. So you can draft a guard, a center, to keep that talent going. But do the Jets have talent there? Yes, they have talent at tackle. Until Becton shows me that he's just going to be hurt all the time, and I don't think he will. He's set out a whole year. So hopefully all the bugs are out of him and stuff like that come next year. Then you got Tucker. Moses is going to be on this team. McGovern will have to see because he can be a free agent. But the Jets have some talent there, and it could be some spectacular talent with the right moves. If you get the right center, right guard in here, whether it's draft or free agent. I have the system with the Jets. They should almost do what the Patriots do, but then you might not be able to do it, as you draft offense and you free agent defense. Because this way, when you free agent defense, you can kind of pick guys you want coming in. When you draft offense, you can build it, and each year, hopefully, it gets better and better and better. And that's what you want to see. Anyway, wide receivers, Jets are pretty talented there. I mean, you have Moore, you have Davis, so you have your 2 talented players. You also have Berrios, and Berrios can do so many other things with the kickoffs and the bunts and everything like that. So you want to keep him on the team. So that's 3 Jets. You could use another burner. I don't think Crowder and Cole will be here next year. They're going to probably go somewhere else. So if you want to draft there, another speed burner with your top picks, that would be nice to have EJ Moore, Davis, and another speed burner, preferably a big physical type catching receiver. Mims, I don't know if he's going to do the job right yet. It's not looking good. At least this coaching staff does not have confidence in him for whatever reason. And the few times he has gotten the chance to play, he really hasn't shown us much. But he's still a young guy, so you can bring him through in the camp and see what's happening. So the Jets have some talent there. So you can see compared to last year, they're building. Jets had tight end talent, zippo, none. Need help. Got to spend some money on that position, or you got to find somebody in the draft that position. You can use one of the guys that they have there as a blocker. I don't think Griffin's going to be around come next year, so you can say sayonara to him. Herndon already let us down because the Jets did try a first-round draft pick, and to be honest, I thought he was going to be a hit. And he made some nice catches, but I don't know what happened to him, and I don't even know what he did when he went to the Vikings. I haven't heard anything great or bad about him, so I don't know if he went to the Vikings and played good. But the Jets seem to have trouble finding tight ends. So in this situation, you don't want to draft a tight end, I don't think. I think what you want to do is you want to get a tight end off free agency that you know can do the job. He's done the job on another team before. You might have to overpay a little bit, but that's how you do it with that. Now we're going to go over to the defense. The kicker, Pellegrini, I think he's going to be okay. We'll see. You're going to run somebody in there. But toward the end of the year, he started really doing good for the Jets. And he had some nice windy days he had to kick in. And he did a good job for the Jets. So I'll call him the starter. He's going to have a heads up on everybody. And he looked good. And I don't have a problem with him being on the team. Now we're going to go to the defensive line for the team. That's where the Jets need to pick up. But here's the good news. Lawson is coming back. He was gone the whole year. And I hope people didn't forget about him, and I think now everyone's starting to throw into his memories. Now we just got to get this guy healthy and get him in the lineup. And this is where a lot of the stuff, then obviously you have Williams and you have Fradicasi, so the Jets are going to be okay up the middle. A lot of the same players. I was a little disappointed they gave so much on the run. But here's where the Jets could really turn things around if they can find in the draft a nice defensive end to go on the other side of Carl Lawson. That would be sweet right there. That would be the start of the talent of the team coming in and trying to help them out if you could do that. So we'll have to see how it goes, how the Jets are going to draft. Now, if you go by my way, I still think the Jets should draft offensively and build that offensive line. Keep building it, and build some speed with the receivers until you find the right combination. But if you have that defensive end that you can't just let go, then you got to do it. I'm not saying you have to draft everybody offense, but it would be nice Lawson and then have that draft pick be that other one, the other defensive lineman, and then you have your normal middle guys, and you're not going to be too bad. Mosley, which was probably the best defensive player, easy, and it's amazing because this guy missed 2 years. So wouldn't it be nice to have a linebacker next to him because you can draft a linebacker and you can pay for a linebacker. So the Jets linebacker core can be really top notch if they spend a little cash-a-rooney, if you know what I'm saying. So you could have Mosley, a young linebacker that you drafted, and I'm not saying they're going to, but it's a thought. These are the thought systems with the Jets, how you want to build. And then you can sign a veteran that would help out, and the Jets can get really good this year. Now, here's where I'm going to differ. I think there's talent on the corners, but they're young. And there was a lot of times there were no pass rush. So I think don't draft any corners unless there's a knockout corner, and I don't see any, but you guys might. So we'll have to go. Stick with the corners you got. Don't give up with them. Hall's going to be okay. I can see him being good. So, and just let them go another year, maybe with the pass rush from somewhere, if you get one, of course. The Jets might be better off. And I also see the Jets, there's some people that might want to draft a safety first. No, don't even think about that. You don't draft a safety. You can get a veteran safety, and you can play him with Davis. And I know a lot of people probably are a little bit saying, I'm not sure Davis is that player. You know what? He's still a young guy. And then if Salah's the defensive coach and you really have confidence in him, which I don't know if you do or not, you put a veteran with him, maybe a couple of veterans, and I think Davis will still be all right. Don't give up on him on the second or third year. Keep it going, because before everyone was saying they thought he could play with May, and it worked out okay until May got hurt, and then he stepped up a little bit toward the end of the day. He started playing better, but put a veteran next to him, or a couple of veterans next to him. Maybe you can go out on free agents. Don't waste a draft pick on a corner, because I know a lot of people like the guy for Notre Dame, unless you're making a trade down and you're getting more picks. Then, okay, then you have to think about it and say, okay, I'm going to trade here. I'm going to grab the Notre Dame guy later in the rounds, but I'm also going to get another pick thrown in. All right, maybe. But other than that, the Jets, I think, mostly need a tight end. That's their desperate position, whether they get it through draft or free agency. That's where they lack the least. That's where they have the least talent. Defense, they can use linebackers. So you know they're going to be out on the free agency market. They're going to draft a linebacker somewhere in these top four picks. So the key is, what do they want to do with their first two Jets? And I'm excited about their offseason because they get more picks. And now I can start to see the talents coming in. Just think, if you get any kind of a burner to go with Davis and Moore, I mean, that's going to be another guard or another tackle, linebackers, defensive tackle. I mean, anywhere really that you draft for the Jets, it's going to help this team. So you got to figure, if the Jets are going to be just a little bit better, they need 6 new people in this lineup for next year. You can't obviously have the same lineup you got now. So you're going to need 6 new people, and that could be the top 4 draft picks. And I'm really saying more like 7 or 8. They got to hit these draft picks. They can't mess them up. These draft picks got to be in the lineup. So when you draft, especially the first 2 picks, when you draft, if you draft a guard or if you draft, they got to hit. I say that with the tight end, you should be able to come up with a good tight end, whether it's trade, whether it's free agency, because you could find the guy that you want, that you could put into your system. So with the Jets, then there's some positivity. So I'm going to give them a T for talent. I'm going to give them an E for effort this year. But they must have this draft cannot screw up. You cannot have a bad draft. And his drafts have been okay. Last year was okay. He found the running back. He found decent cornerbacks. So he did okay in last year's draft. Becton's got to be healthy. That's going to help, because if you have Becton year round, just imagine Carter running behind Becton, and maybe Tucker, or maybe a new offensive guard in there, while this team all builds together. And you can see it. It's starting to work. Salah, I still have confidence in him. This is his first year. He was on a learning experience too, and his coaching staff. The offense started getting better. The defense faded, but I think they're going to fix a little bit of the defense with free agency. So they had games where they looked really good early, and you thought this was going to be a top defense. And a couple injuries here, a couple injuries there, and then before you know it, they looked like they were the worst defense that ever born in creation. And still, toward the end of last year, like when they played Tampa and they had that game, the defense couldn't hold this thing. They really could. They couldn't even hold them to a field goal on that last drive, if you remember. They let them come down the field and score. So this defense needs big-time improvement. It probably needs more than the offense. The offense looks ahead. Considering the last game, he had Wilson had no receivers to throw to, and I like this guy. I think he's going to be good. I think he's going to run a little bit more in his running that he could possibly do, because you saw his nice 50-yard runner. He doesn't run as much as, say, like Allen, but when he does run, he seems to get big chunks of yards, which is nice. But I'll be looking forward to the Jets. I'm a little disappointed this year because I just thought the defense was going to step up and play better, and they've dropped off. I thought the offensive side of the ball, they started to improve toward the end of the year. I think they're going to get more people in here. They really need a tight end. I mean, almost every team in the league has a decent tight end, and the Jets just didn't, So we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to end the show here. This is Rapping Sports with Jack from the J to the A to the X.com. Until next time, until next year, I'll probably have talks about the Jets come draft. Draft is going to be fun. I'll be around. I'll probably do a show when that time comes out. Until then, talk to you later. Bye.